Alright, haulers, hello and welcome back to Beaver Creek. So you'll notice that everything is nice and green. It has been a couple of weeks, and that is because some exciting stuff has happened. So I was working on some equipment, getting stuff kind of put away for the summer, some of the snow equipment that we won't be using, as well as working on figuring out a plan for what we're going to do with the new fields. And I was approached by the gentleman that actually owns the farm in the area. And it turns out that he was finally ready to sell. He did decide he was going to auction off some of his equipment if I couldn't give him the right price for it. Older dude, he's just looking to retire. I'm not going to stiff him, so we took out a giant loan, and we now own the farm that was already on this area, which we are heading to right now. We can make it in one piece. You'll notice I have the gooseneck on the back. That is because we just picked up some materials that we're going to be needing. Not only did we get some equipment with the purchase of the farm, but we also got animals. He had, I believe it's 31 chicken, or 20, 30 chickens and a rooster, and then some sheep. I believe he's got, I want to say 20 female sheep and 5 male sheep, and then he's got like 20 or 30 pigs, I don't remember. So he had actually intended on getting rid of them, and hadn't expected me to be interested in them. So he'd already gone through all of his feed and all of his stuff for him. You can see the truck's kind of struggling on this hill. We do have this thing loaded right down. Come on, baby, we can do it. Oh, she's struggling. We're spinning. Come on. This dirt road, it's the loose dirt. It's not helping. Now, I am also partially lost. I don't know exactly where I'm going. I think I'm supposed to go left here. So I guess we'll find out. I've only been to this thing a couple of times, and I've only ever gone to it from the opposite direction, so this ought to be interesting. Hopefully we won't end up in a bigger pickle, but he wasn't expecting us to be interested in the animals. He was expecting to clear them out and get done with that. And it turns out, obviously, I am interested in them. I want to get into that sort of thing on top of the farming, which I'm kind of taking on a lot more than I should at once, but I'm really interested in that kind of stuff. And so we now have those, but the trade-off is that we don't have any of the stuff to feed them or care for them. We have all the equipment, so I'm just getting back from the store right now. I have on the back right now the first trailer of what will probably be 2 trips, which is, I've got some bales of grass I've got for the sheep. I've got some chicken feed, and I've got some pig feed. Obviously, there's a lot of really big upfront costs with what we're doing right now, but over the long term, if we can make this sustainable, we'll make all of our money back. But we did have to take out a pretty hefty loan. Now the question is, where do I go from here? Dude, I am actually lost. Alright, I just pulled out my phone and looked at where we're going, and we have to go this way. It is really hard to navigate some of these areas because I have really not been through most of it. I've only explored some of it. I don't know if there's anyone else living in here. I don't believe so. I believe this was the only guy within the area that we're going to be working with. But we'll have to see, I guess. You never know what you'll run into, especially out here in the woods. You got to be careful of that. But at some point in time, this will all be fields, which will be very, very cool. I'm excited to see it in that point. Come on, we're spinning on the dirt. I think I loaded this thing a little too much. I've got a bunch of hay bales, or not hay bales, but grass bales. We've got 6 of those. We've got 4 pallets of chicken feed, 4 pallets of bagged pig feed, and then I've got the telehandler on the back, which is also a lot. But actually, also attached to the telehandler is a new bale grapple thing that we were able to pick up for pretty cheap. So that'll be hugely, hugely helpful in the long term with managing bales and that sort of thing. All of the equipment that we need for baling, for mowing, for fertilizing, for throwing lime, and for water and that sort of thing. Basically everything we need he kept. Some of his nicer equipment, he actually had some John Deere equipment and some nicer tractors. He decided to auction off instead of giving them to me, which I'm kind of sad about. But those were a little bit outside my price range. I just couldn't afford them. So hopefully between this and the sawmill, we'll put a little bit of money up front into getting the farm going, and we'll use money from the sawmill to do that. And as soon as we get the opportunity, we can then get to a point where they're both profitable. Crossing my fingers. Ooh, this truck. I've got the trailer brakes and everything going, and she's not liking it. But this is it. We are here. Oh, slow down. And you can see there, we did also get an animal trailer. There's our chickens. We'll come out and around here because this is where we're going to be unloading, is over on this side. All right, and now that we're parked up, I can actually show you guys what we brought in here. You can see it's all been nicely, neatly stacked. I've got the pallet forks up there strapped to the trailer. I was kind of concerned about those coming loose, so I kind of set it in the divot between the bags, hoping those would give it just enough, and it seemed like it held. And then back here you can see I've strapped down the telehandler with the new bale grab, which is going to be awesome. Yeah, you can see we've maxed out this trailer and the truck for sure. This is a lot of weight for that. But you can see over here all of our chickens, they're all happy, they're doing their things. They did have enough feed for a little bit. I did grab some. I grabbed like a few bags and got them fed so they can do their thing. And then we'll run over here and take a look at the equipment we got. Now, I don't want to spend a ton of time going through equipment because I think last time too we spent some time going over some of the new stuff that we had already picked up from the auction for some of our logging stuff. I don't want to do that again because, you know, you guys will see all this stuff in action and that'll be much better. You can see here cultivator, spreader. In the back there we've got a straw chute thing. I forget the name of it. We'll go with that. That's the technical term, the straw shooter. The jaw skin, which is a tanker. We've got a nice bale trailer here. Mowing equipment, baling equipment, wrapping equipment, tedder, all that fun stuff. A manure spreader, a whatchamacallit, a windrower. We've got a auger wagon. Man, my brain's not functioning today. I don't know why. Also, this dude, when I was looking at this, he must have like specified his equipment to the T, because all of the equipment that he has that's bigger just barely fits. Like, just barely fits. It's like if you ever go to a fire department and they've got like the light bar on the front of the truck instead of on the top because the whole top of it's like flat because they need to get into an old-fashioned like thing. Like, he did that. All of his equipment barely fits, but it's really well sized, that's for sure. So he's got the nice combine here. I don't remember what model this is. The T560i. I've never worked with a combine before, so I don't know how that's going to be. We'll see, I guess. I don't know. And then he's got two trailers over here with headers on them, which will be nice. We've got a corn header and a regular wheat header. And that's actually going to be what we're going to be planting first. Oh, and then you can see down in the corner there, we do have a planter, a seeder. So kind of the game plan right now that I'm considering is going to be we're going to get the animals set for a little bit. Hopefully in the coming weeks, we're going to get everything planted. This means now that we have two bigger fields to worry about. Technically three, if you want to split them up like that, because one of them's half grass, half whatever, like we can plant whatever. So it's plowed ground. And then we've got one that's entirely plowed ground. So in theory, we've got three fields on this side of the property with grass and areas to plant whatever. And then the new field that we made last time from the clearing and the one that was there before when we got here. So we've got a lot of work to do. And I think my game plan this time is going to be, I want to do wheat because it'll be good for feeding the chickens. And I'm not sure about the pigs yet. We'll see how that does. If we need to for a little bit, we can just buy more pig food and that sort of thing. We'll figure that out. Potentially barley with that to kind of supplement, because I think the chickens will also eat barley. Obviously, we'll probably end up storing most of it for a while. We won't end up selling it or exporting it. We'll just stockpile it. And then we have plenty of grass that we can then bale up for the sheep to get them through the winter, because the winters here are long. But that sort of stuff will be a pretty big challenge for us this year, since it is my first year working with crops, so we'll have to see kind of how that goes. Can you get out of here, sir? But I guess what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and unload all of this stuff. We're going to get the animals fed and then watered and all that stuff and go from there. All right, and there, all the animals that we have, the sheep, the chickens, and the pigs are all fed. They're all happy. They all have water. They should be good for quite a while, so we're going to take a break from that. You can see here the Pioneer bags. I've already taken some off. I found that the easiest method of using those is just to sit and cut them open, dump it into the bucket, and then just take a whole bucket load over. In theory, I could just take that whole pallet over and dump them in, but it's just so much easier. I think, honestly, what I'm going to do is look for a different type of bag. I saw these ones that have like a metal outside to them that actually you can cut a hole in the bottom of the bag and just pour it out that way in one go instead of having to cut multiple bags. As much as I like doing this because it keeps it all fresh, it's just too much work, especially for one person. So we're going to have to figure that out. You can see here the new equipment too. I brought out the John Deere. I don't think I actually went over some of this. We have the sprayer. You can see that peeking out of the shed in the back too. But we have the, I believe this is a 6145M, something like that, with the 643R front loader on it. Really nice little round-the-yard tractor. Obviously not like a front lawn mowing kind of tractor, but definitely a tiny little, little jobs here and there. You can see some pig feed in there that I've been working with. And instead of actually taking the lime and storing it, I just immediately filled the trailer there, the spreader, since I already had that out and ready to go. So that is all set, so we can start liming. The next things that are on our list are we need to get straw. That is the only thing that I don't have for the animals. I need to get straw for the pigs. And that gives me an idea of kind of what I'm going to have to look for in terms of what I'm planting. If I plant wheat, I'll have the wheat that I need for the chicken and the pigs, which is good. And then I will also have the straw for them. I have grass, so that's fine. I only need that for the sheep themselves, so that's a start there. And obviously we have a water pump over by the river that pumps into a little tank that's down on the end of the building there, that sort of thing. So we're in pretty good shape. There's just a little bit of stuff that we have to work out, but I need to get straw bales. I know that. Fertilizer, I need to get both liquid and solid fertilizer. We're going to use both. We're going to use liquid tanks for the sprayer itself, and then the solid stuff for the spreader there. As soon as I'm through the lime, we're going to fertilize with solid, and then once the crop gets growing, we're going to go through and spray it and all that stuff. I don't have anything for weeds or anything like that. I'm not sure how to handle that because I've heard some horror stories recently about dealing with weeds, so we'll have to kind of figure that one out as we go. But that's kind of the game plan for up next. I'm going to quickly take a look at the field, do some checking, see how the field looks, and then we might actually hop into hitting it with lime and getting that started right off the bat. And then that way, when we come back next time, we can finish up some of that stuff and hopefully get to planting. That's my goal for the next episode, is to actually do the planting and then also hit the other two fields that are off in the distance. Or three, I guess, technically, because we've got the new one that we made, the one that's in front of us, that sort of thing. I'm going to take a look at the fields, see how they are, and then we'll be back in just a second. Alright, well, I just got done running some tests on the field. Water content's a little bit low, that's okay. But the whole field, not only does it need lime, but it needs plowing. So what we're probably going to do is we're going to throw down lime and then plow it so that it mixes in. Potentially fertilizer too. I don't know if we want to mix that in or not. I haven't done that before, so we'll have to see. But that means that we actually have to get a plow, because the only one that I have is a ripping plow, and I don't want to use a ripping plow down here. So I guess what I'm going to have to do is go down to the store, buy a plow, get it brought up here, and then go from there. Alright, so some time has passed, and as you can see, I have a treat for you guys now. So basically, what I ran into was I don't have any proper equipment for plowing or anything like that. And so I've been spending the last couple of days trying to figure out how we're going to get this field set up, asking around, trying to figure out how the process works. So we're actually going to lime first and then plow it to work it into the soil. And I was lucky enough that the dealership actually came out, and in return for letting them film me for an advertisement with this piece of equipment, they were nice enough to loan me the 9520 RT with, I believe this is the 36-inch track variant. And then on the back, we have a combination ripper. I don't remember the number for it, but like, we have got the best of the best here to take for a test drive, and we get to really mess with this for a few days. So we're going to take this, we're going to hit the fields today and try and get at least the 2 big fields done today, and then hopefully knock out the 2 small ones this weekend. I will be doing the 2 small fields live over at twitch.tv/longhaulergmg. If you'd like to come hang out in the tractor while I am working, definitely come check that out. That'll be sometime on Sunday. If you want to find out exactly when, go ahead and join my Discord. You can find that in the description. And you'll find all the info there as soon as I'm ready to go live and do all that stuff. But for now, we're going to get the fields limed. So we're going to hop in the Massey over here and see how we do. I might have to go pick up some more lime. I don't know if I have enough. That's almost full, not quite. And then just in case, I did also bring over our tractor, the 6250R, which is the one that we were using over at the logging facility. So just in case that we need that. But what we're going to do is we're actually going to jump into the Massey, go hit the fields with lime, get them plowed over. And if you're wondering why the fields look like they've been partially done, it's because they also brought up a 8RT and did some plowing footage on there. They took that with them, though. I don't get to mess with that. But I'm hoping that with the opportunity to actually try out this one here, the 9RT, maybe we'll get to buy one. Maybe we can work out a deal at some point to buy one. They're expensive as heck, but I think it'll be very cool if we can manage that one. But for now, let's go ahead, let's jump in the Massey. I'll throw the drone in the air, get some footage for you guys, and I'll see you guys in just a few.
I just need time to clear my head. Fires up, embers burn, can't pretend, yeah. And I've been thinking about things that we said, yeah. And I've been up all night lately, thinking about you, yeah. Are we just holding on? We're scared, still bruised, yeah. You messed me up, fuck me up, just can't stop, no. I told me I don't need nobody, but every night I'm feeling something for you, yeah. You messed me up, fuck me up, thinking about you. Thinking about you. Are we just satellites by the edge? Burning up, spinning round till an end, yeah. And I've been thinking about things that you said, yeah. And I've been up all night lately, thinking about you, yeah. Are we just holding on? We're scared, still bruised, yeah. You messed me up, fuck me up, just can't stop, no. I told me I don't need nobody, but every night I'm feeling something for you, yeah. You messed me up, fuck me up, thinking about you. Thinking about. I told me I don't need nobody, but every night I'm feeling something. I told me I don't need nobody, but every night I'm feeling something for you, yeah. You messed me up, fuck me up, thinking about you. Me up, fuck me up, thinking about. monsters in the night and you feel the danger that makes you wanna hide. When the cards are stacked against you and you're standing on the edge, now's the time, now's the time. Think about all the dreams you keep inside. Think about all the ones you love. I know this beating heart will be my guide. I know that we can overcome. When the world's so cold and we're losing hope, I need her, I need her. When the darkness comes and we're overrun, yeah, I need her. That's when we need each other. 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 When you're falling faster and don't know where you are, you feel the danger closer than your heart. When the weight is getting heavy and the future is unsteady, close your eyes, close your eyes. Think about all the dreams you keep inside. Think about all the ones you love. I know this beating heart will be my guide. I know that we can overcome. When the world's so cold and we're losing hope, I need her, I need her. When the darkness comes and we're overrun, yeah, I need her. That's when we need each other. 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 That's when we need each other.
All right, and there we go. After a few hours of plowing and liming and all of that fun stuff, we're done. Took me about half the amount of time to do the smaller field that's over by the grass field, so I'm thinking it's about half the size of the large one. The large one took quite a bit, a long time, and hopefully we don't get too much rain with everything being so freshly moved. I'm going to have to start watching for runoff now with all these with all the rivers and stuff that are kind of going through. One thing that I realized is, the way this farm was built, it's not really intended to have... Oh, there's the pump going with the pumping the river water. But it's not really intended, or like having the large equipment doesn't really work in some of the tighter spots. I was considering removing some of the trees along this bank. Problem is, I'm worried about erosion into the river, so we're going to have to kind of keep an eye on that sort of thing. But what we're going to do now is I'm going to fuel up the John Deere. We're going to wash it. Always make sure you return anything you borrow cleaner, or clean, if not cleaner, than when you received it. And we are going to put a full tank of gas in it or whatever. I'm going to call them just to be sure, just to make sure that if we do fill it up, that it's actually going to get used, because I don't want it to, like, if they're going to take it back and it's just going to sit in their property, you don't really want to have a lot of gas sitting in there. So we will see. But we're going to go ahead, we're going to wash it up and let it sit for a little bit, because we are going to be using this over on the other two fields here pretty quick. And that's going to basically be it. So let's go ahead, let's wash this thing up and then go from there. And it's like brand new. Another couple hours have passed and she's all clean. Took me quite a bit of time to go through that, clean it up. Still overcast, still crappy. Crossing my fingers we don't get too much rain. But that means our 2 biggest fields are done. So our next goal is going to be to actually plant everything. So now we have to actually go down, pick up all of our fertilizers so that we're ready for when that happens, and pick up all of our seeds and stuff like that. So that's kind of the plan for next time, is to finish up the other 2 fields, get everything seeded all in a couple of days' time, 2 or 3 days' time probably. I don't know how long it's going to take. But we're going to get all that done, and then in a few weeks after that, we should be close enough to be able to actually do some mowing and get some grass baled or something like that, potentially. I'm not 100% on that one yet. We'll see. We'll see how fast the sheep are going through it, too, because we might set some of it aside and wrap it for silage. We'll see. But before I go any further, I quickly want to give a huge thank you and a shout-out to my Patreon supporters, or in this case, supporter, WX Squint, who has subscribed at the Pavement Pounders tier. Huge thank you to her. If you're interested in getting a shout-out and your name on screen as well, you can find links to my Patreon in the description. And if you want, you can go over there and support me above and beyond what you guys do here. Just leaving likes, leaving comments, that really does make a difference. And that is already, that is supporting me immensely already. So Patreon is just kind of above and beyond, so it definitely means a lot. And if you guys are really enjoying the content, please do consider subscribing. You can also get notifications if you want on YouTube, but if you'd prefer to get them in Discord, that is also an option. If you join my Discord, link is also in the description for that. Should you join, you can actually press a button and it will notify you in Discord every time I go live or anytime I stream, depending on, or I said the same thing twice there. Anytime I go live or anytime I post a video, depending on how you choose it to do it. So definitely check that out if that's something that interests you. But that's going to be it for me today on the farm, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.